Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing something a little bit different for you. I am doing a pick a card reading. This pick a card reading is all about the messages that you are supposed to be receiving during this slowed down time of this global pandemic. How are you supposed to grow and learn during this time, and what are things that you can lean on to make this experience the best that it can be at this time? Before I start through with the readings, I want to just reach out and give my little thank you to everybody who are the frontline workers, working in healthcare, working in grocery stores, the truck drivers, etc. Thank you so much for doing that if any of you are tuning into this video. So I'm showing you the card options now. We have pile 1, 2, 3, and 4. I encourage you now to take a moment to meditate looking at the cards and choose which one is drawing you in. I encourage you not to simply select the crystal that you like the best. I am just using the crystals to distinguish between the card piles in the reading. Choose whichever card is calling to you energetically. Let's get started. Alright, here is my reading for those of you who chose group 1. Alright, group 1, so you are being called to do a lot of spiritual protection during this time. What I mean by that is you have a lot more time on your hands to be at home and to be consuming content. And the message coming through from your guides is you have to develop some clear boundaries. This is a time where you no longer can make the same excuses that you used to make to people and things who were taking your energy that weren't really filling you up for your highest good. Now you're living in a time where you can no longer tell people you can't hang out with them or you can't do XYZ for them because you have to work or because you have obligations. For many of us, many of those obligations are stripped away for the moment. So you're being asked to put forth some clearer boundaries. And even though it may seem like you have a lot of time on your hands, your time is very precious right now. You're not supposed to squander it away on people who don't make you feel good about yourself, because you are protected and loved. You have a strong spirit guide that is protecting you during this time, but that guide wants to come down right now and give you some tough love. There are people in your life that you are letting in that do not serve you. So take a moment after you listen to these messages and finish watching the video. Take a moment to really think about it. Are there people in your life that don't make you feel like your highest good? I'm getting the message right now that many of you who selected group 1 may be quarantining with somebody who is a bit damaging to you. You may be quarantining with someone who's taking down your self-worth in the ways you choose to express yourself during this time. I'm seeing that you are very spiritual people, you people that have chosen group 1. You may be digging deeper into your spiritual practice right now to find peace and to find solace in this time. And there may be somebody who is quarantining with you who doesn't understand that. So make sure you set up boundaries for yourself. If you are in the situation where you're quarantining with someone who doesn't understand your creative and spiritual outlets at this time, try to create a place in the home that is just for you. This is really important for you, group 1. You need to create those boundaries and you need to create a space that you feel safe in, just you, just your protective energy. Because even though that was a bit of a warning for our first message that popped through from your guides, this is a fruitful time for you. You can really connect spiritually in a way that you have not done before, and you can build for the future. There's something about your confidence. Before this global pandemic really broke out, one of the goals that you were working on this year was being more confident. You're somebody who wanted to step into your worth. You have a lot of self-worth and self-love issues that you still need to dedicate time to. And your guides are saying if it's safe for you, if you're quarantining in a safe space with safe people, they really want you to go within and spend a lot of time each day on that inner work, on feeling self-love, on feeling deserving. But they are warning me that it's possible for a lot of you that there are some negative influences in your home, so to try and carve that safe space for you. All of that being said, There's a lot of spiritual promise for you. You have the power that you need to protect yourself. You are just being asked to step out in a new way and protect your energy more than you ever have. And if you can create this protective wall, that's when your optimism will start sparking up again. I'm getting for you, group 1, you have had a lot of negativity. You have had a lot of fear around this virus, and that's all right. A lot of people have. You have felt very, very sensitive to this fear-based energy that is going around in our circles right now. But if you can make yourself a little safe container that's just for your energy, if you can block out the physical people in your space if you're quarantining with others, and if you can block out the news and not be taking in as much. You're not supposed to be taking in as much news as you are. You are a smart person and you like to keep informed. That's something that's in your nature. I can tell for the people who chose group 1. You're very responsible, you're very well informed, you keep up to date with the news, you're good citizens, you're following the rules. All of this is well and good, but you are taking in enough. It's time for you to rest. Make sure you carve out that moment in your day to rest, and make sure you have that soft, nice place to rest. Potentially, I'm getting the message now for those people who are quarantining in households where there are others that are messing with their energy a little bit. It's very important that you try to take your walks and time with nature if you're living in a country that allows this. So try and take your nature walk. Try and take your nature walk. And if you're unable, try to access images and videos of nature, because this can be very nurturing for you at this time. Yes, you're definitely the responsible type. That's coming over and over again. Before quarantine began, you were really filling your plate with a lot of things. You're the type of people that might have multiple jobs, that might have a main job and a side hustle. Potentially, I even have people watching this who are still having to work and juggle that. So this pause, if you're afforded this pause to have more time at home right now, you're really supposed to think, again, those boundaries, saying no to people and things that aren't serving you, okay? Because you have too many things going on right here. That's what we see here with this 10 of Wands. You are pushing forward with so many different energies, and it's kind of that jack of all trades things. You're good at many different things, but you can move forward with more wealth and abundance for yourself if you focus it down. So this is a time for you to shut out all of those things that are no longer serving you and really distill it down to what you want. Because I'm seeing for a lot of you people who chose group 1, after this is all over, your work life is not going to be at all the way it was before. For many of you, you're starting a new position in your job after this is all over. When it's time to go back to the workforce, you're starting a new position in the field you are in, or even you are working in a new field. So pay attention to those messages that are coming through for you, because for those of you who were not happy in your main paycheck job, who were struggling along with more and more different side hustles, getting new project ideas every day, really throwing themselves into that gritty work, maybe you weren't feeling fulfilled with the number one thing that it was paying your bills. But now, when you've had all this time, this great pause to reflect, the silver lining you can take in this world that we have right now is that you can get clear. You are supposed to say no to those things that aren't working for you anymore, and you're supposed to get clear. And when we come out of this, you're looking at a brand new business life for you. So for many of you, it's taking roots. It's being more in control of your schedule, and it is being more in control of what you produce and put out in the world. You're looking for more of a leadership role. Yeah, you're looking for more of a leadership role because for a long time you have been doing grunt work for other people's ideas, but now you're moving forward into more of a leadership role. So how do we prepare in this great pause for what we don't know, for when we don't know what is coming? How do we prepare when we know we want something more out of life? What do we do when we have all this time now? Well, your work is definitely cut out for you. Your guides are letting you know you need to create these boundaries. You need to create a safe space in which your confidence can bloom and you can grow spiritually. Some practical guidance for you. If you can take time in nature, definitely take it. Look at all the projects you're doing. Are there some that are not fulfilling to you? Were you born a leader? Were you born a leader, and as time has gone on, have you distilled that down and diminished your leadership qualities to make other people feel more comfortable? These are all things you can explore right now. Finally, we got our Knight of Cups. So you are supposed to keep moving creatively. Paired with the Ace of Wands here, I definitely see you need to take back your leadership, and you have to try something new creatively. These are kind of two practical options that you can do during quarantine to make yourself feel better. You can think about what type of leader you'd want to be. Are there little side hustles that could grow into more fully blooming things? What is your entrepreneurial spirit? This is something for you to journal on. Also, when the going gets tough, and this message is for those of you who are having a really tough time with that fear-based mindset we talked about a bit earlier, is there something creative you can do to take your mind off this? Is there something creative that you can channel your fear into? I'm seeing a lot of you painting and drawing, just really pouring out this energy in a creative way, writing, singing. The arts are very strong for you guys. So this can be a safe space. When you carve out that physical place in your home for you to feel safe, this is something where you're creating art. You're creating with your body and with your hands, and you're not letting in that massive fear and negativity more than you need to do. Because I know for you guys in group 1, you're very responsible. You want to know the facts, okay? You definitely want to know the facts. And you can know them, but to an extent. Don't completely inundate yourself with that. And I see that many of you are probably quarantining with somebody who feeds this negativity in you, somebody who's constantly parroting the facts at you and not letting you have any rest. That's why you have to carve out that physical space in your home right now that is just for you. I hope that was helpful for you, group 1. All right, now we're moving on to group 2. All right, group 2, right off the bat with your reading, I'm getting a lot of water energy, so it's possible that a lot of people watching this have a water sign in their main 3 astrological signs, but of course you don't have to. I'm just being told to share that for you right off the bat. Another thing is you're very protected by a divinely feminine energy. You likely have a very feminine, mothering spirit guide working on your behalf, but they're also quite the tough spirit guide, so a kind of mother lion. So this person is protecting you during this time, during this quarantine. Right off the bat, I'm seeing that you have a lot of ups and downs during this quarantine. I think you people that have selected to be in group number 2, I don't want to scare you, but I do want to tell you that the virus is likely to touch your circle. So there's likely to be somebody that is important to you, potentially getting infected, potentially yourself, but there is nothing to show that you should have fear. This is just a warning coming through from your spirit guide. So I hope that doesn't frighten you too much. The reason I say that is a goddess card I pulled for you here is Kali. So some of you might be familiar with Kali. She is symbolizing endings and beginnings. It says the old must be released so the new can enter. You have this great understanding that this is happening for a reason. You aren't one of the people who is constantly watching the news and constantly monitoring things. You actually possess a really beautiful calm during this time. So congratulations on finding that calm, and I encourage you to continue with it. You're not supposed to back down right now. What you believe is the truth. You have a really clear intuition on why this is happening, and people have been picking up on that. So for you, the quarantine experience has been a lot of people have been reaching out to you. People from your past, people that you haven't heard from in years. All of these people have been reaching out for you. And the reason is they can sense that you have an inner knowing about all of this. There's something about you, something like a past life that you've had before. You have lived through destruction before. And as I was talking about all that water energy earlier, I'm just getting the intuitive hit that you have potentially had past lives in civilizations that have ended. One civilization that ended that is very, very famous, especially in the spiritual realm, is Atlantis. So it's possible that you had some past lives in Atlantis, or at least in a time when a civilization was going down. And that's why you haven't been super fearful about this time, about this virus that we have right now, because you have lived through it before. Karmically, you have lived through it before, and people are reaching out to you because they are so intrigued by the sense of calm you possess by all of this. You're not as worried as other people, and they want to understand why. So you are supposed to be cleansing right now. And I don't even have to tell you to cleanse right now because I already know that you're intuitively doing it. You are really getting ready for the next phase of your life. You're doing this in a very sacred and somber way. You're not doing it in a disrespectful way at all, but you are just one of the people that knows things are going to be very changed when we get out of this. So you're one of the leaders. You're one of the leaders that is teaching people how to behave in this way. So let's go into some more practical tips for how you can feel more centered during this time. So you are being very charitable during this time. Charity is on your mind. You are very provided for in this time. Even if you don't think you are, there's so much fruitful abundance for you right now. I don't want you to be worried about your finances. I don't want you to be worried about coming out of this okay fiscally, because you will. You have the abundance. Your guides are taking care of you, and you have the abundance. You are one of the people who is more feeling guilty about the amount you have. No matter how much physical wealth you have, during this time you have been feeling guilty and you have been looking for ways to give back. Okay, so you have been one of the people really spearheading giving back to different businesses, but I can sense that you often feel very overwhelmed by how much need and hurt there is in the world. You have a very empathic energy here in group number 2. And you have been really worried about how can I give back and how can I really help during this time. Well, the message that's coming through from your guide of how can you help during this time is you actually have to return to basics. You have to return to your family. So you start at home, you start with your family, you start locally. So all that work you've been doing, contributing to small businesses or thinking about doing that is all on the right path. But I'm getting the fact that you will have to be very supportive for a family member. There might be family members in your life who are the people who are immunocompromised and you are very worried about them. That's okay. That's okay. You are provided for and you are a good leader and you're going to help them through this. So you're really here to be a rock for others during this time. That's why it's so important that you continue purifying your energy. And the way you purify your energy is really knowing who deserves to be given some of it. So this is a general theme that's popped up for a couple of the groups in this video, but you have to get clear on where you want your energy to go. And your guides are saying start in your community, start with your family, give the excess that you have that way, and give spiritually and give emotionally as well with your empathic energy. But there are people, like I said at the beginning of your reading, there's so many people coming out of the woodwork and looking for support from you because they can tell you have a lot of knowledge about this and they're drawn to you. Often there can be negative energy vampire type people drawn to these empathic people like yourself. So I see lots of people coming out of the woodwork in this, and for many of you, I see past lovers coming out of the woodwork. People that betrayed you, people that it is a very good thing are no longer your romantic partner. So these people might be coming out of the woodwork. I could see people trying to manipulate you during this time, people acting like you need to give them the charity. There might be people that are asking for more from you. But what you have to remember is you need to purify yourself of this. So that's just a warning for you guys. I know that you're going to be okay, that you're here for a reason, and that you have a lot of knowledge about this. So if you're looking for more self-soothing, please turn inward, because it is highly likely, just look at these cards here, it is highly likely that you have lived through a civilization unrest before. in a past life, or that is resonant for you in this life even. So you know how to get through this. You know how to get through this tragedy. Know that you have a lot of abundance and that your family will be all right. Just start by taking care of your family. And please block out these energy vampires if they're coming back. All right, group 2, I hope that was helpful for you. Moving on to group 3. All right, group 3. So for a lot of you, you are in quarantine with a love partner, with a love match. So if that's the case for you, definitely find the gratitude that you have somebody there that really loves you. For some of you, I'm seeing that there's the potential that your relationship could flourish during this time of self-isolation. So if you have been having relationship problems before this, problems in the vein of not spending enough time together and quality time, this could actually fix that for your relationship. So be on the lookout for that. It is a very amicable time for you and the person that you're quarantined with. I'm getting that from this card, Isalt, and it says the love you have shared is eternal regardless of the situation. So regardless of this situation, you have your love match with you, and that is fantastic. The other goddess card I pulled for you here is Freya. So you actually have so much pent-up energy, group number 3. You are not doing well with having to be contained and the world being shut down. You are actually being affected more negatively than most people by this because you are an extremely energetic person. You have a lot of energy, a lot of expoundable energy. You love being outside. You probably love sports and exercising, adventure, travel. You love travel, and you are feeling really down in the dumps that you cannot fully express this adventurous and daring side to you right now. I'm seeing that, yes, you like to be constantly moving. You're the type of person that works hard and plays hard. You keep a full calendar. So this is feeling pretty intense for you right now. I'm seeing that in your career life before this was happening, you were making a lot of big moves, and that is all on hold right now. You also likely had some travel plans that were affected by this. You are a restless spirit. You like to be traveling. You're a wanderer through and through, wanderlust, all of that. And you had to cancel some trips because of this. Some travel plans were canceled, some bigger meetings at work were canceled, and this feels very intense for you. You have all this energy, but you don't know what to do with it, all right? So you're having a really hard time being contained right now, so I'm sorry about that. But the message that's coming through for you right now, how do you deal with all of this? How do you deal with all this pent-up energy and feeling like you're in this tight box and not knowing what you're going to do about it? Well, first off, spending time with your loved ones, that is coming through well for you, because I'm seeing actually a lot of you are quarantining, like I said, with a love match, but you haven't been able to give that person your full attention for a long time because you are the type of person who fills their calendar and who is constantly doing things. So they're saying this is a blessing in disguise for you because we wiped away everything that doesn't matter. You think your job matters. I'm seeing a lot of you are in the corporate sphere. You think making money and working at your job is really important, and it is, but you already do a good job at it. So now this is your chance to get quiet at home, because you're also the type of person in love. A lot of your favorite dates and memories with your loved ones and with your friends and family even include going traveling, going to a strange new land, getting to explore it together. So they're letting you know, without all that luxury and all of that amazing experiences, what does it feel like to give love on the home front? What does it feel like to strip all of that back and be more of a homebody? Because you guys love juggling a bunch of things, but focusing down on one thing, it might be a blessing for you to feel more well-rounded in the future. They're also bringing up charity. Is there a way that you can be charitable right now? This is talking about your gratitude and blessings as well, because for you folks, and definitely no judgment from me, it's a tough time for everyone, but you're feeling very negative because of the things that were taken away from you. And that's okay. It is normal to mourn things. It does not make you a bad person to mourn the opportunities that are now lost at this time or have been postponed. But your guides are asking you, can you look to what you are grateful for? Can you look to what remains possible for you, such as your loved ones and your home? And what can you be grateful for? You're being asked to dig deeply into gratitude. This is a soul lesson for you. You came to live through this for the reason of learning how to love simplicity, learning how to love the hearth and home, how to connect with your family deeper. This is a new chapter for you, because the chapter you've been living in now has been like live fast, work hard, play hard, and now you're really getting this sobering moment of what is truly important. That is coming through for you. What is truly important? And at this time, you're also being called to look at your lifestyle and look at your finances. This is a strange message to come through, but it's coming through loud and clear. Take a look, spreadsheets, your bank accounts, your investments. Do you have it all figured out the way you want to? Because for you, group 3, you have a lot more figured out than you think you do. You are really the type that likes to be very explosive and bold and really look at the intricate details later on, but now you're being called to actually take a look. If you have an investment portfolio, take a look at that. Take a look at what you need to live the life you're living. And is there any excesses in that life you're living that you don't need? Can you distill it down? Can you make it simple? For you, group 3, you're being asked to simplify your life. You move very fast. In this coming chapter, you're being asked to move slower. So are there things you can eliminate from your life, expenses that you can eliminate, that will make you have to work less and be able to enjoy more? Because I know as soon as the world's opened up again, you are going to be the first group that is buying some plane tickets to go explore. So for you, group 3, I know it's really hard. It's really hard to feel contained, and you don't do well with all of that, but it is a growing and learning experience for you. And if you lean into your gratitude, you lean into your gratitude of your home, your gratitude of your loved ones, you may want to continue this slower lifestyle after the pandemic. And that's why I'm being called to let you know that you're supposed to take a look at your portfolio of your investments and your money and your bank accounts and really go back to step 1 there and see, is there spending that I don't need to be doing? So I hope that was helpful for you, group 3. Last but not least, we have group 4. Okay, right off the bat, group 4, even though this is not a past life reading, I'm being told to tell you that you likely have a past life as a royal, someone who was extremely privileged and living in a castle. That royal and regal energy and that protecting your tribe energy is coming through very clearly for you. You're being called to have patience and strength. Patience and strength are very important for all of us right now, but especially for you. This goddess card I pulled for you here, Sekhmet, says you are stronger than you think you are, and your strength assures a happy outcome. So when this first happened, you felt very shaken up, of course. It was changing up your life a lot, but your guide wants to come through and tell you that you are going to be okay. You are blossoming right now, and you have a beautiful strength about you, all right? So you are going to be okay. I'm getting the sense that you are very worried. You're definitely one of the more worried people, and there even potentially is somebody sick in your family or in your circle already. I'm getting that message pretty clearly that for a lot of people watching who selected group 4, they are affected quite acutely by this virus, but your guide's coming down right now to let you know that it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. And you can actually have a hand in helping it be okay. Sorry, group 4, I just ran out of space for a minute there. But what I was saying was you have a divine healing energy. You have been called to all of these global meditations that have been going on. You have felt called to send your energy to places in the world that have been hurting. And that's because you have this deep power of healing inside of you. You are a healer. You are one of those presences that people come around to feel better about yourself. I pulled Medicine Woman card for you. It says you are a channel for divine healing power. all right? So just by you giving your energy and giving your love to your family members and to people who you don't even know are hurting, you don't know how much power you have. I'm seeing that you could actually have tried to organize some of these healing sessions. Some of you are spiritual and have healing practices, and I know that you are feeling a little bit down because a lot of people are discounting the power of that right now. And when I say that your energy work is powerful, I'm definitely not saying that we don't need actual medicine and we don't need doctors. Doctors are the reason that most of us are going to be okay right now. But for you, you have been really doubting your intuition because of this virus. When this virus hit, you started to doubt all your natural gifts because you thought, if this is happening and I can't stop it, can I believe in myself at all? I can see that you are very closed off to your gifts right now. You have this inclination to help people, to heal people in a spiritual lens, but you feel like you shouldn't even try to put your energy there. You shouldn't even try to have these meditations. You shouldn't try to send this healing energy because you feel like it's silly. This is something that's a huge issue with our entire globe right now. You think anything that I could contribute is a drop in the ocean. But your guides are here to tell you that you can contribute. Keeping your spirits up and sending your light and positive energy is doing something. So please follow those impulses the next time they come, because I know that you have been closing yourself off to it. Right now, people are inclined to ignore spirituality. People are inclined to only rely on technology, and that has caused you to shut down a little bit of your spirituality. But you are supposed to look back now. Look back. There are times in your life where you helped make things happen. There are times in your life when you prayed and your prayers were answered. I'm seeing that you are shutting out spirituality a bit right now because this is happening, because it has been a hardship, because it has potentially affected you in a more acute way than the other groups. Okay? And so you have felt like you wanted to turn your back on spirituality and not believe that you can help yourself or you can help anyone else. And that is an entirely understandable feeling. But your guides are asking you to look back. Look back on when it has helped you. And maybe that will make you be able to believe a little bit more now that it is going to be okay. Because the first messages I pulled for you are, have patience, have strength. You are going to be okay. So you're thinking about spirituality in an entirely new way, but your guides are asking you if you can go back and believe what had happened for you before. For you, Group 4, it's kind of like this global pandemic crisis is also correlating with your own personal crisis, potentially a midlife crisis, quarter life crisis. You had a lot of threads and a lot of balls you were juggling before this all happened, and you thought things were finishing up, projects were finishing up, you were working really hard in your job, you thought something would come to fruition, you potentially even had a relationship that now feels delayed because of this virus, and you're a relationship that is now feeling a little bit stagnant because of self-isolation. That is why you have been feeling so down. You have been really affected by this, and it's been really tough for you. You have to turn back to your faith. You have to realize your power and know that you are going to be okay. This is a fresh start for you. For a lot of you who selected Group 4, your relationships, romantic relationships that were newly beginning, jobs that were newly beginning, working towards promotions, all of that has been swept away, and it's because we're creating a new slate for you. You are creating a new slate for you. There is room for change. There is room for growth. But what's important right now is you have to turn back and start to trust yourself again, because you were always a highly intuitive and powerful person, but all of this has gotten you feeling shaken up. The sadness, the global climate, it's gotten you all shaken up, and you're not trusting your power anymore. All right, I hope that you all enjoyed the messages that came through your guides and through me for this video. I hope you are all well and safe. Thank you so much for watching. I may be posting more videos like this. Let me know if you enjoyed it. And you can follow me on Instagram at Magic Material. That is where I am the most active, and that is where I post a lot about tarot. And you can always reach out to book a personal reading with me. See you next time.